Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Top Tier Talk. This week, the Premier League season has finished, so we are doing a 24-25 tier list of how we feel the clubs have done. Elliot, starting off with Arsenal, take it away. How do you feel you have done this season?
Somebody's going to heavily disagree with me on this, but I think we'll be at the very bottom after this list of expected.
What?
The very bottom of
I
expected.
thought you would be less deluded and put mid at least, but no, stinker, man. Put him in stinker.
How is it stinker?
Because you didn't win a trophy.
That doesn't matter.
Your objective at the start of the season was to win a trophy. You didn't win a trophy.
So if we did if we came 17th like Tottenham did and won a trophy, that would have been expected. That would have been expected in your eyes.
Yeah.
That's bad. No, expected.
Why is that bad though?
Because that is terrible. Finishing near
So
relegation.
why are you
winning a
expecting?
trophy?
So you expected at the start of the season?
Expecting a top four. Yeah, Champions League football. Yes.
That is disgusting. Dan, you got to be neutral here, mate.
So this is I knew this was going to happen with just you two. Like, we predicted Arsenal. I think we all did to win the league. Maybe not you and me. You've got a burning hatred for
He's got a stigma against us. Yeah.
But it's hard because, I mean, you didn't do as we expected, but you weren't miles away. So exactly. I would argue, as you said, bottom of expected.
Bottom of expected.
Or mid.
Yeah, all top of mid. Fine. I can agree with that. I'd say bottom of expected for now.
No, mid. Oh,
you changed your tune. No, look a stinker.
I thought mid was delusional from me, but you weren't expected. No. All
right, we're going straight in.
It's up to Daniel. It's up to you, Dan.
It's a 2v1, Elliot. We'll put you in mid.
That's what I said. It's up to you, Dan. So
up next, finally, a team that should cause no arguments. Aston Villa.
I'd say expected.
No, mid.
I
think they're expected for Champions League. No. I think they expected Champions League football.
I mean,
the way they performed in the Champions League and the way they got. I think they fell just short in the last 5 games.
It was on goal difference. Literally, they missed out on goal difference.
I think
I'd put expected because they probably would have expected.
If we're in mid, they're in mid.
No, it's not a vendetta about you against.
It's not a vendetta, but I'm saying it's like you treat like for like.
They had Champions League. I don't think they probably expected.
We had Champions League.
You're comparing yourself to Villa.
Okay, well, fine. All right, whatever. Champions League football, though.
What do you think here? Because I think we're going to argue.
I think expected. I think. I would. It's not overachieved because of what they've done in recent years. Over the last sort of 3 years, since they stayed up and flirted with relegation, they've been there or thereabouts. They finished in the top 10. The fact that they got Europa, do you know what I mean? I think that's
okay. Fair enough.
Like, I think there's a difference between obviously Villa and Arsenal in terms of Arsenal finishing second is more mid than Villa finishing in the top 6.
I still think Villa should have got 5th or 4th, but
Bournemouth finished 9th.
I think maybe expected based on
expected
the manager they had. Maybe
are we going below Villa?
I'd say top.
Maybe even mid. Maybe they expected a European push for a conference.
I think they did. I mean, what did they fall? Because Palace won the cup. Bournemouth were 4 points off. 5 points off to finish ahead of Brighton.
Okay.
I mean, they are quite. I mean, they're not mid-table. They're 9th. They're 1 place off, literally middle of the table. So mid.
Yeah. Okay.
Brentford finished literally mid-table in 10th.
Mid.
I'd say overachieved considering they lost Ivan Toney. Because did they really replace him? And he was their main out.
Wissa and Buemo, wasn't it? Just got came over was already at the club. So
I think the top 10 finish, or 10th exactly. I mean, and losing a prolific goal scorer, 20 goals a season. I would probably say maybe overachievers.
I don't think so. As they still had such an attack force behind them that regardless of Tony.
I don't know what the stats are behind it, but I don't know how well Embuemo and Wissa did in terms of their expectations. I think they over.
Embuemo, I think, flew by.
Are we top of above? I think it's hard to put them above Villa because Villa literally finished in a European spot. I think
mid, personally, but if you guys want to put expected.
It's
not even because they finished mid-table, but I think they had didn't they have a better finish last season?
Probably.
But Tony. But it's up to you guys.
No, Amir, we've said expected and mid. You can decide. you could make a decision.
Expected more than mid, I think.
And whereabouts below Villa?
Below Villa.
Up next, Brighton finished in 8th. Missed out on a European spot because their rivals
overachieved.
Because their rivals Palace won the FA Cup.
I think overachieved. I think they've done very, very well this season. I think
they have finished in European places before, though. To be fair,
Elliot's just shut himself up. So while he's being quiet,
I don't know. I think Brighton have done well. Usually they like the 12th or 13th team. I think, as you say, they're pushing for Europe.
They keep losing players to us every season, so maybe let's do overachievers then.
The first ever achievers, Brighton and Hove Albion. Amir, you're up next. Chelsea.
I'll let Memphis Peace go.
European winners.
Expected season and top 4. Said at the start of the season.
Are you going before?
Before because we won a trophy. Yeah.
I genuinely thought you was going to go overachieved.
No, definitely not. I said it at the start of the season. You could go back to it. It's minimum.
This one's the easiest one.
Overachieved number 1.
Overachieved at the top.
Everton. Let me just scroll down the league table.
Everton done Everton, really.
Finished above Man United, I will add, and Spurs.
Yeah,
based on their stature of the club, probably mid. But they did stay up.
Yeah,
ahead of Arsenal.
Ahead of a second place team.
Have you seen their transfers and stuff?
It doesn't matter. You're taking into consideration this is the Premier League. Arsenal finished second, regardless of what happened. They finished second place.
Relative to each club, though.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I genuinely
anything to get a bit of Arsenal good PR here and there, isn't it? Really.
You have some rival fans where if we won the league, it would have been overachieved, but if we came second, it's mid. So where do we fit here?
For me, that's interchangeable. I had Everton down.
So we're the best team in the Premier League right now. You think then? If we're expected to win the Premier League, yes or no? That's what you think. If we're expected to come first, we're technically in your eyes the best team in the Prem.
Yes, sir.
So we are. Okay, fine. That's fine.
Right. Up next, Fulham, 11th place. I think that's probably mid. Yeah. Mid. Put them down at the bottom. Ipswich.
Okay, yeah. We've got double stinker here, I think.
Are we going stinker? Should we just...
I think it's unfair on Ipswich to give them a stinker though, because it's their first season in the Prem and
they're not in it anymore.
I know, but
they had a terrible season.
Yeah, fine.
Liverpool.
Overachievers.
Overachieved, yeah.
Are we putting them? I mean, they won the
league. Second, I'd
say.
Palace above. Palace 100% of the best. Yeah.
City. Stinker.
Are we going with stinker? I mean, they finished. Yeah,
I'd say mid. I'd say bottom of mid.
I'd say bottom of mid.
Yeah, I'd say bottom of mid.
Fair enough. Stinker.
Yeah, actually, let's put them bottom. Newcastle finishing 5th, Champions League football again.
Overachievers because they've not won a trophy in so long.
No.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realise about the Carabao. So yeah, you're right.
Brighton are just sliding down. Forest.
Overachieved.
Overachievers.
We're putting them above Brighton again.
Above Brighton, yeah.
Stinker,
rock bomb. Rock bomb was stinker. That's not the.
They can't be above United. Tottenham, I think, overachievers. They won a trophy.
Oh no! Let's not forget the hell of the season they had.
Right, they've won a trophy,
regardless of their European trophy.
They've won a trophy.
It does not matter. I think mid, very mid.
I was gonna say mid.
Above Arsenal.
Yeah.
No,
but right, because they've won a trophy. That Premier League, like that. If they didn't win the Europa, they'd be down here. But I think because they did.
But I don't get why it's mid though, because they've achieved something.
A club like Spurs,
you're taking into consideration a fucking abysmal Premier League and a Europa League. It has to even out.
A club like Spurs winning 11 games in a Premier League season is horrendous.
Amir, yeah, you got to take both into. You can't just say trophy, yay! So then brings them out.
Everton, West Ham, Man United, and Wolves all won more games than Spurs.
I'm saying if they came like 10th or something and won a thing, then yeah, overachieved. But they came near relegation. You got to take both into consideration. Very, very mid.
Moving on to West Ham, finishing 14th. I think
stinker. Top of stinker.
Stinker, man. Top of stinker.
You going stinker? Okay, fair enough.
Top of stinker.
And then
go mid.
Well, right. Ignore that. That was me being blind. Scrap that. Last but not least, Wolves.
I'd say bottom of mid.
Bottom of mid.
Considering their players, I mean, they lost a lot of players.
They're losing Cunha now. And Ait Nouri.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
definitely going to get slated in the comments for this, as we
I
always
mean, I
do.
think you guys
Hold
are
on.
absolutely crazy for some of these because a couple of teams need to be moved.
What, in your opinion, where? Who?
Arsenal should be top of stinker. But it's not an insult. I don't know why you're taking it as an insult.
It's not an insult. It's the worst
Your
opinion you've had.
objective at the start of the season is to
It's
win.
no. It's this isn't. No,
Took
that's
no respect to for the Carabao Cup and FA Cup.
so
Lost
bad.
in the semi-final of the Champions League and gave up in the
Exactly.
league.
Champions League semi-finalists and
You
second in the
didn't win
Premier
it,
League.
though. You didn't win it.
So
Like,
Amir, no, okay,
But
right.
United-
So your
United
expectation of
finished
us, your
final.
expectation of us was win the Champions League, win
No,
the FA
my
Cup, win the
expectation
Carabao
was a
Cup,
trophy.
win the Premier
No,
League,
if you
win the
won a
Community Shield,
trophy, it would
win the
have been
Club
a-
Super Cup, win everything possible to
Hell,
our
if you
club,
won any
and then we
trophy,
would have been
it would have been
expected.
expected. If you won any trophy, you would have been expected. So I don't know why you're taking it in a bad way. It's not like I'm talking.
I mean,
you
I'm
lot-
taking it as a whole, as a season. We came in the semi-finals of the Champions League, in which we haven't been in since, what was it, 2009? And then we also came second in the Prem. Yes, we
And
maybe
you
should have
didn't
won a
win either.
trophy,
And you
but
didn't win
a Mickey
either,
Mouse
and you're
trophy of
expected to
Carabao
win a
Cup.
trophy.
I'm
What
not-
did you expect at the start of the season? Just to finish second and runner-up and everything?
I didn't expect that, no, but I'm
win
saying
any
it's.
trophy.
I didn't expect that.
What was your objective as an Arsenal fan at the start of the season?
A title race.
A trophy to get
A title race.
And you weren't in that.
Yes, we were, but then we dropped off toward the end of
You
Feb.
gave up in like February.
In the end, yeah,
gave
but we still gave it a shot.
20
It's
points above you
expected.
all the time.
We came expected. I think we should have been at the bottom of expected here.
Why is it expected for you to finish runner-up and don't do jack shit in the domestic competitions?
It doesn't matter, regardless of trophies. I think
that is right.
the journey of where we came. Where did we come? Where did we come? What was it? Quarterfinals of Carabao? Was it like Was it quarterfinals of
We've-
FA Cup?
what-
Semi-finals of.
What we've done here is we've completely given up on the video, and you two have just continued arguing. So
No, he's just got the worst opinion ever. It just makes no sense
El's
putting
right,
Arsenal
put them in
anywhere
expected.
below expected.
Guys,
Makes no sense.
Dan, El's right. Put them in expected. They were expected to finish second. They're expected to not win any trophies, and they're expected to not win the Champions League. So put them second.
Expected was a good season.
expected.
Champions League semi-finalists
No,
against
your
a
season
team,
you had was
PSG by the
expected.
way, who probably put in one of the best Champions League performances of their history.
So where are we putting them in expected?
Bottom of expected. Bottom of
Put
expected.
them in expected. They put them in. Arsenal expected to come second in everything, and they did. That was expected. Done. That was
Okay,
happy
go.
now, it's fine.
Okay,
that-
hold on. But then, okay, so let's take this into consideration then.
He's going to
Let's
do
take
what?
this
He
into
wants to go and
consideration then.
stinker now, doesn't he?
So Everton, where did you say they weren't expected to come 13th? Wherever they came, 12th or 13th.
Right, we're going to carry on for hours. We're settling it with
What I'm
that.
saying is, if you take every club's finish in the Premier League into consideration, then fucking Spurs should be rock
It's the
bottom.
whole season. It's the whole season.
Right,
Yeah,
we're going
exactly,
to
taking
go
it the
on for
whole
hours.
season. We were Champions League semi-final. What? That is what more? That's overachieved. We weren't expected to get anywhere near the semi-final.
Cut this.
Right, we're going to go on for hours. Thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments.